Hi, everyone. Tony from Hack the Movies here, and it's Valentine's Day once again. And today we're going to be talking about Saving Silverman, a surprisingly relatable, outlandish comedy. Today on Hack the Movies.
Tapes, we're talking about tapes.
Hello, Tim.
Tony, remember, the key to this is if the nachos stick together, that's one nacho.
Yes, Saving Silverman. I'm glad we picked this one.
Yep.
I love this movie. Valentine's Day again. The single Pringles, I think you called us last time.
That's the last time we were here, my friend.
Neither of us gotten girlfriends since then? Or?
No, it's a couple of sour cream and onions.
Oh, okay. So this is what the fourth year in a row. I'm killing it. I'm killing it with these V-Day specials.
Here we go.
Yes. Saving Silverman. Love this movie.
Fantastic.
Love this movie.
Underrated.
From director Dennis Duggan, who's done some good movies like Problem Child and what was the other one? Billy Madison, I think.
Big Daddy, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore. That was the
yeah.
one. And some terrible movies. Like Grown Ups, I think. I think he
Jack
did.
and Jill?
I think he did Jack and Jill. He's made some stinkers, but this one is solid.
Fantastic.
This one is solid. And of course, we're reviewing a Jack Black movie, so let's give the comments a couple seconds to tell us that he sucks. Let's get it out of your system.
Wait, what? Jack Black sucks?
Oh, have you been asleep since last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I just woke up, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of things I got to tell you there.
Okay, fuck.
You see, last year, I was proactive, and I was like, I want to do Tenacious D for Boys Month.
Oh, I can remember this.
And I shot the review in April. And I went, there's no way Tenacious D will get into a big controversy between now and when this episode airs.
Oh, right.
2 weeks, a week or two before the episode airs, that whole thing happened. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I forgot.
You got to be kidding me.
I forgot. Damn. All right. Well, hey,
But you know what? At least he didn't do anything bad since then except put out a trailer for a terrible-looking Minecraft movie.
Yeah, that looks like ass.
That looks terrible. I don't even give a shit about Minecraft, but even I'm just like, what is this?
Sorry to the teenage audience watching. We
The
hate
teens
Minecraft.
don't even seem that
Really?
thrilled about it.
No
yeah.
one's into it. It's over.
They're like, is that Steve? Who is that?
Yeah.
But yeah, Jack Black comedy. Back when people used to like him. I did just watch a whole video. Like, he is tanking. Like, he's losing followers.
I mean, to be honest, like his movies as of late have been pretty bad.
Yeah. Not that they were always winners. There were some stinkers here and
Yeah.
there. But now just like his reputation just
He's been so lovable
because
for so long.
because he was so well liked and lovable, when he finally hit some controversies, fell off hard.
Sure.
But you know what? This review is going to bring him back. People are going to be like, I forgot how good he was
in this movie. Yes, dude. J.D. McNugent, the legend.
When did you first see this movie?
I saw this movie like straight up. I think my brother Joey rented it from Blockbuster or something. Like we watched this.
Yeah.
We all love this movie.
In the theater.
You saw it in the theater?
My grandmother was watching us one weekend.
Oh, did she take you to this?
Yes.
Whoa.
So I was 2001. I was 11. And because at that point I secretly watched American Pie. And I like Jack Black stuff. And I was just like, hey, Grandma, I don't actually call her. I call her real name. It really bothers everyone. I'm like, hey, Ann, we're going to go see Saving Silverman.
You freak.
I really want to see I think we did a double feature. We did one movie for my little sister. Was it?
It's like we saw Air Bud and Saving Silverman.
You know what it might have been? Hold on. Well, we definitely didn't see Hannibal or Valentine or Monkey Bone. I don't know.
I saw Monkey Bone in the movies.
I'm looking at C Spot Run. That's a kid's movie. That's the only one I'm seeing on this list here. All right, well, we saw some other movies. So we did a double feature, and one of them was Saving Silverman.
Amazing.
Keep in mind, my little sister is 9
I'm
at this point.
All three of you guys were watching Cowboy Wayne try to S his own wiener, like in the yoga position.
You know what's funny? Like, my mom and my grandfather didn't care what we watched. My grandmother's a little bit more reserved, so she didn't know what we were walking into. However, huge Neil Diamond fan.
Oh, perfect.
So she was like sold from the beginning,
Yeah.
and then like all the raunchy stuff's happened. She's like, "Oh my god,
That's amazing."
That way, and then a year later, I talked about this in one of Kaylee's videos. I made her go see a fucking 1 hour photo with Robin Williams.
Yeah, could you get any darker, dude? Like literally.
I'm like 12. I heard Robin Williams in a horror movie. I wanted to see it. She had no idea. She's like, I love Robin Williams.
Not
Oops.
everyone.
Oops.
Everyone. At least it wasn't World's Greatest Dad.
So, and then when it hit like premium cable, I watched it constantly.
I watched this so much on cable.
I watched it.
It was always on Comedy Central, TBS, like all kinds.
Yeah, well, I watched it on HBO first,
HBO, yeah.
so I got to watch it, and then I always made a point. I think I had it taped at one point off of cable, and I would watch it religiously, and then. Years later, I got the R-rated DVD, which you think you have not watched.
So I definitely have seen the R-rated version at one point because I did remember that line when we were talking off camera. But as far as like what I watched before I came here, I don't think I watched the R-rated version.
It's funny because I've only seen, like when I got the DVD, it's been a while since I watched this, but I remember when I first got the DVD, I didn't realize I had gotten the R-rated cut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember this. I'm like, what is this scene?
Yeah.
Like that joke is completely different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask you because I didn't get time to finish all the theatrical cut. I'm gonna ask you about there's certain changes I do know, but I'm gonna ask you to elaborate on some of them. So yeah. Oh, by the way, because it opens up on a Neil Diamond concert, this gave me my love of Neil Diamond.
Same.
I love Neil Diamond
because of this movie.
Movie. And it's one of those things like it's like because I found out my grandmother had a CD, like his one live album, and I stole it from them. And then I bought some of my own. It was one of those things like I was like, oh, it's the guy from that movie. Let me listen to it ironically. And then I'm like, no, wait, I actually really like these songs.
I love this album.
I'm like, I love this album. And then back in 2008, me and Johanna went to see him in concert.
No, you didn't. You saw Neil Diamond live.
Yes. I bought a shirt from
Sequence?
No. I bought a shirt that he sold at the concert.
Nice.
And then I left it at an ex-girlfriend's house, and then she ripped it in half and gave it back to me. And then my aunt went to see him in concert a year later, and she got me a new shirt.
Thank God.
And then I found this book in a thrift store. It's from his 2012 concert. It's like his whole history. And I have it on the 2000s page, and you get to see some Saving Silverman there.
Awesome. That rules.
So I forgot to write it down. It was going to be, I think maybe it was Neil Young. There were two other singers I think they had in mind, but they turned it down. And then Neil Diamond was like, yeah, sure. They're like, all right, we're going all in on Neil Diamond.
I actually love that too because it's like just mainstream enough to not be mainstream.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, they were gonna they wanted like Adam Sandler in this, Ben Stiller, but I think at that point they might have been a little too big for this particular movie. Okay. So yeah, they went with Jason Biggs, Jack Black, and Steve Zahn. This is like probably my introduction to Steve Zahn.
Yeah, and he's been in a ton of stuff. And then what happened to what is her name again?
Amanda Peet.
What did she do after this?
She did a bunch of movies. I think I was looking up. It's one of those cases where they're in a ton of stuff. It's just I'm not watching it.
Yeah, it's all shit we've like.
It's like TV stuff. Yeah. So yeah, but I wish she was in like bigger stuff that I saw because I forgot how good she is.
She's good in this. Yeah,
she's great in this.
Yeah.
She plays a really good bad guy, too. Does. I kind of wanted to see more movies of her being a bad guy. So it opens up on the Neil Diamond concert, singing my favorite Neil Diamond song, Holly Holy.
His favorite, guys.
Which is what he opened up with at the concert that I saw it. Wow. Yeah, you know what's funny? Because like I'm not like one of those like poser Neil Diamond fans.
Yeah.
I don't like Sweet Caroline that much.
I do.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's like hit Sweet Caroline at a wedding after a few. Come on.
It's fine. It's just like he has a lot of better songs.
Yeah.
And I know that's the popular one, but the problem is at the concert, he's like, who wants to see me sing it one more time? And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm good.
And like
I'm like, do Cherry Cherry again.
And ironically, they don't play Sweet Caroline in this movie, do they?
You hear it once.
Okay.
You hear it once. I'll point out the scene where
wait, I think I know what scene it is.
Yeah.
I think I know.
So it opens up on the Hot August Night concert from 1972, I think. Mm-hmm. We see Steve Zahn as Wayne. And he tells us that it was a great concert. He knows because he was there. And by that, it means his parents were there. They gave birth to him during a Neil
Mom was pregnant.
Concert. So yeah, we get to learn about him and his friends. We learn about Darren, who he met in school, and JD. JD will be Jack Black. Darren is Jason Biggs. JD is an idiot. He's lactose intolerant, but still drinks milk. And Darren is just always falling for the ladies.
And a male cheerleader.
He eventually becomes a male cheerleader. But yeah, he like gets into a fight with like a little girl. And then Wayne is loyal and he's going to beat up the little girl. He gets his ass kicked by her. But yeah, then they become friends. They're still friends in high school. What was it? Wayne is the third string quarterback. JD is the mascot, and then Darren is the cheerleader.
Amazing.
We find out that Darren loves Sandy. There's another cheerleader there.
Sandy Perkis.
And then the late Arlie Ermy is the coach.
Yes, legend.
I love him in this.
Best browse of the game. In the game.
So, what was the thing? I think if I remember right, Dennis Duggan wanted Arlie Ermy for the Carl Weathers character in Happy Gilmore.
Really?
But Adam Sandler wanted Carl Weathers. So I think he promised Arlie Ermy, like, my next film I'm putting you in. And it ended up being this one.
It's a good choice.
It's a great choice. He's awesome in this.
Great.
He's so fucking funny in this. And he really teaches great lessons.
Yeah.
Like, stay away from women.
They
All they
only
want is your man juice. You know, I didn't realize, like, when I was a kid, I not going into high school yet.
Yeah.
I should have listened to a lot of what he was saying because I had a Judith. I had a couple Judiths in my life.
Did you have any Waynes or JDs to save you? Nope, because I didn't.
No, they just yelled at me, but they didn't really. I would have loved if they kidnapped them.
Would have been great.
But yeah, so I love. He's like, stay away from women. All they want is 2 lessons.
Yeah.
Use your hand if you can't suppress any urges with hard liquor. And then the second lesson is sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship.
Proceeds to like literally impale a ref.
Yeah, we find out later in the movie he murdered a referee. Okay, first big change from the PG-13 to the R-rated cut. We find out JD is working at Subway. Now, in your cut, when he says he's working at Subway, what happens?
He just gets fired. He gets thrown out of the front. Yeah.
JD is rapidly working his way up the ladder at Subway. Get fired!
R-rated cut goes on longer. So he actually was working his way up.
Yeah.
And he was showing some like regional manager like how he trained his team. And the first guy couldn't remember the sizes of the cups.
Wow.
He's like,
I don't remember.
Yeah, he goes small, medium, and long. And he's like, no, that guy sucks. Let me show you this dude. And the dude makes the sandwich and he puts all the insides on the outside of the sandwich. So he just covers the sandwich in meat and cheese, but on the outside. And then his third guy is JD's protege. He really believes in him. He made a big party sub. It's a huge fat guy. The party sub's gone. So that's why he gets fired, because he ends up being the worst trainer of all time.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Not a great scene. I actually, I think at the time this airs, I
Yeah.
think we already put out the Blues Brothers episode. And we talked about how that was a movie that did not need a director's cut, did not need an extended cut.
Yeah.
It's rough with comedies with extended cuts.
Yeah.
And this is one, like, this is kind of funny, but it's funnier in the theatrical where it's like, he's working his way up, and boom, he's just already fired and kicked out.
The window, yeah.
Yeah, it's way funnier.
Out the door, yeah.
When there's stuff like that, I mean, they did also just cut some raunchy jokes. I have some leeway for that, but like, it was just the comedic time is way better than the theatrical cut. Darren works at a retirement home, and Wayne is a rodent wrangler.
Cowboy Wayne.
Yep. He goes to the old lady's house. She's like, there's something big under there.
She's like, careful, Sonny.
And he finds a baby raccoon.
Yeah.
And it's just all nice. He's like, where's your mommy? And then, do you have it on the shirt here?
Is the raccoon on?
Rah! The raccoon comes out.
Mommy!
And just
Nails
attacks it. And he puts it in a coma, and then it just wakes back up.
Great bit.
It's great.
Great bit.
It's
And like
great.
the raccoon looks like that, like the weight, like everything looked really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it looked good in the movie.
I feel like after There's Something About Mary, just every comedy needed like a wacky animal scene.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's great. It's a great way to establish our characters. But there's one thing that they love: Neil Diamond. And they have a band called Diamonds in the Rough. There it is. There it is.
Rough, y'all.
Bop, bop, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And they're like into it. I love Jason Biggs. He's like, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da.
The way he's hitting the keyboard. So good.
I gotta get a sequin shirt. We gotta get those.
We should have got him.
Can we start a Neil Diamond cover?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Darren is like flirting with a girl, but she turns him down for a real entertainer.
Another dude, it's bit after bit in this movie.
I know.
Like
He gets turned down for a mime. And this is one of my favorite Jack Black things ever.
Yeah.
When there's a couple really good Jack Black moments in this, but I love this one where he's like, what's a mime even sound like during sex? And he's probably like, I'm a mime.
I'm a mime. He's like, mimes don't talk. They do when they're off duty. Just the mannerisms. It's so good.
I'm a mime.
I'm a mime.
I think, all right, so in this version, in my version, he talks about Sandy. He mentions that her family moved away with the circus.
Yeah, dog face boy. Yeah,
Yeah, her brother was the dog face
Dog-faced
boy,
boy.
her mom was the bearded lady,
Yeah.
and her dad was the strong man.
Yeah.
But they left, and Darren never got to tell Sandy
Yep.
that he loved her.
Yep.
And that was his one and only. And JD, in my version, I think he goes, oh, that sucks. Oh my God, look at that. I think in your version he says sweet peach or something.
Yeah, he goes, look at that sweet peach.
I think in my version he's like, oh, look at that nice juicy, like ass or something.
Yeah.
I think he says something more raunchier.
Man, that is so romantic. Oh my God, look at that juicy, succulent peach. That is really romantic. Oh my God, look at that juicy piece of ass.
Then they proceed to hit the butterfly.
Butterfly.
Yeah.
Come, my lady.
Come, my lady.
And I think I read in the trivia, I think Orange County the year after also had Butterfly in it.
Orange County is that's a great. If you were to watch Silverman, Orange
Yeah.
County double feature, that's a good
Yeah,
night.
I remember really liking it.
I like it too,
really liking it. So yeah, Amanda Pete walks in as Judith.
Yep.
And Wayne is gonna go wingman for Darren.
Yeah.
So I love he's just like, hey, she's like, no, I'm not interested. She's like shooting him down. He's like, oh no, not for me, for my friend Darren. She's like, don't want to meet him.
And he's like, great.
Great. I'll bring him over. She's like, no. And I love he's like, oh yeah. She's like, oh man, I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah. Ultimate wingman.
Yeah. So she shoots down Darren.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, no, I really don't want to meet you. Your friend lied. He's
And
like,
then who walks over? Who walks
who
over?
walks over? Kyle Gass. Pause. Let the comments yell about
Here we
Kyle
go.
Gass. Okay.
This is I get this.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I think I got it out of the system. Yeah, Kyle Gass is a magician. He's trying to flirt with her with the ring.
Rings. And he's like, I love you.
I love you. But then Darren comes back for his ring. She's like, oh no, this is my boyfriend,
Yeah.
to like get him out of there.
Yeah.
He calls her Satan. All right, nice to meet you, Darren. Satan. Kyle Gass would always cameo in Jack Black stuff,
All
like
of
Cable Guy. He's
Yeah.
at the very end of Cable Guy.
The first time I ever saw both of them was when they were playing the song in Biodome, early on. And they
Yeah.
were like, yeah, it's great.
So right away, she starts controlling Darren.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I'll have a whiskey. He's like, no, you have a gin and tonic.
I'll have a gin and tonic.
And he buckles. Now, I think we already said, like, I've dated a couple Judiths in my life. You probably have.
I mean, everyone has had a Judith, I think, at some
Or
point.
we've had a friend who had a Judith.
Sure.
This is the oddly relatable thing. We've all either been the guy or had the friend, in my case, both.
I agree.
Who got the girlfriend who made you stop talking to all your friends and try to control you and everything.
Unfortunately.
It's this movie was like a gift and warned me about it, and I didn't listen to the warning.
Why don't we listen to Saving Silverman, man?
Every young men out there, you should be listening to Saving Silverman.
Watch this movie. It will teach you everything you need to know. Protect your MJ.
It's maybe that's why I don't watch it so much these days. I'm getting a lot of flashbacks.
Straight trauma.
Getting a lot of flashbacks.
Oh boy.
To be like, I don't want you talking to that person anymore. I'm like, but they're my friend. No. Then I'm like,
Right
oh,
back.
okay.
All right, Darren.
We tell the story a lot on the show. The one girlfriend cornered Johanna in a bathroom and like threatened her.
Whoa. That's some off-camera talks.
That was a Judith if there ever was one.
Yikes.
Yeah, so she's immediately controlling, trying to change him and everything.
Yeah.
And again, he's weak. He buckles. He
Straight
straight up buckles. And I love Wayne is just like, I mean, they're not going steady or anything. And then of course they are. We find out 6 weeks later, they still haven't boned because she doesn't believe in premarital sex.
Yeah, sure.
But she's like, there's other ways to pleasure. And I love that, like, she goes down, but then she makes him go down. Now, in your version, he's like fixing his jaw afterwards.
Yes.
Does she mention her sensitive gums in your version?
Maybe. I kind of remember that.
Because I feel like in their R-rated version, he's like, I was hoping I could get pleasured. And I think in the R-rated cut, she's like, oh, you want me to go down to you? I can't. I have sensitive gums.
Yeah, and in my version, she's like, I'm so sorry. And then whips out a porno mag and some lotion. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
So she still does that, but they add in the whole blowjob joke
so they
in
probably took that
between.
off.
But again, funnier in your version, the quicker version.
Yeah,
it's funnier because it's
a
so
harder
matter of
cut.
fact.
Yeah.
The fact that she was like struggling for an excuse, it's funnier when she just has one already. She's like, oh yeah, sorry, here you go. Have fun. Oh, she goes, have fun.
Complete. And then like before that, like you could tell he's just such a hopeless romantic. It's our 6-week anniversary. Gives her the thing. She's like, thanks.
Julia
Clap.
puts it in the closet. And I mean, come on, she's looking fine as hell. She's walking around in just a bra. It's like, come on, don't do that to the guy. Don't do that to the
Destroyed him.
Don't do that to the poor
Destroyed
guy.
him inside.
So I thought that was funny. It is kind of funny. I have a sensitive gum.
Yeah.
So yeah, Darren then brings her to Wayne and JD's place.
Oh, epic scene.
This is the first of the outfits with her tits out. She was
Constantly
showing it all
showing
in this movie.
Constant cleave in this, for
Yeah.
sure.
And their place, it's a nice big house, but it's a shithole.
It
They've
is.
made it into a shithole.
It's just somehow a frat house, you know?
And this is another moment that like I didn't get as a kid, but as an adult, like it makes me like cry laughing.
Yeah.
What would you want to drink? Scotch on the rocks.
rocks.
You want ice
Ice
with
with
that? And I love right away. Darren's like, I'm gonna help with the
it,
drink
yeah.
because he knows he's gonna
So
fuck it up.
funny.
So Wayne shows her the Neil Shrine,
The Hall of Neil.
and they have the set list that he signed. And
Yeah.
she's like, it's Xerox.
Yeah, she's like, I think you got played.
Then he shows the outfit that they stole from the dressing room, and that's when
Sweet
Sweet
Caroline, 'cause
Caroline.
he
so
hits
they,
the button.
They hit the button. And it's like,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we stole it out of his dressing room while he's taking a whiz.
He's like, he was taking a whiz.
I love that she tells him, she's like, in my profession, because she's like a therapist.
Yeah.
She's like, we call what you have a delusional projection fantasy.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, well, he's America's
America's
greatest
songwriter.
songwriter. I have no idea what
Yeah.
she just said. And we find out, I forgot this whole movie takes place over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They find out that in 2 weeks he's going to be playing
Yeah.
at whatever they're in Washington, so I forget what stadium he's going to be playing at.
But why can't they go?
Well, they can't go because they have a restraining order. Because last time he was in town, JD jumped the fence to hug Neil, and we got
good.
I want to party with you. I want to party with you.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but was one of the security guards that pulled him off, wasn't that somebody? Was that the dude from Mad TV? I could be wrong, but
I didn't make a note of that.
when
I
I watched it today, I was like, wait, is that the
I'm gonna look. I'm
is
gonna
it
go
guy
through the
from Mad
footage
TV?
and
Yeah,
see
we'll
if it's
see.
someone like
We'll
that.
see.
But I love that Neil Diamond hates them.
Yeah, he's just like they show him, he's like gives him the head shake.
I want to party with you. Oh, fucking hilarious. And they're like totally on face, like, yeah, I got that restraining order. Like, you
Yeah.
kind of deserve it, you assholes. So yeah, the game's on. Game's on. But she has nowhere to sit, and JD is a gentleman. He brushes off the grossest chair ever.
Named Old Ethel.
Yeah, and by the way, this is also relatable. There's been several times over the last few years where I unexpectedly had to have a girl in my car. And I'm like, oh shit, my passenger seat just has trash all
you're like-
over.
you're like, this
and
is-
I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. 1 second. And I'm like
You're
putting things
right
under
under-
the seat
yeah.
because there's no trash can around. I'm like throwing bottles in
Yeah.
the back. And I'm like, just 1 second.
like,
And I'm like,
we've
oh
all been
man.
there.
I'm like, I gotta start making sure this thing's clean when this happens.
We've all been there.
So yeah, he puts her in the chair.
My favorite things one of my favorite quotes from this scene is when he's like, he's got all kinds of reclining positions. He's like, come on, you freaking piece of shit. And like the way he says it, and then he just rips her. Like she
just
launches.
tosses her, almost kills her,
Yeah.
covers her in nacho sauce.
salsa.
Thank God they established that she's a bad guy before this. Because
Yeah.
if they had just went to this scene, I would have been like, no, she has every right to
everything
be
is
out here.
justified. Yeah.
Because I was joking, like when we did Shaun of the Dead, when you watch it as an adult, you're like, no, Ed does kind of suck. Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, no, Ed kind of was a problem.
Yeah.
But in this one, they're like, I'm glad they established her as the real villain, so I don't feel too bad for her. In this
Exactly.
scene.
Yeah. It was just pure comedy.
Oh, I love when she first shows up. He gets her name wrong and offers her beer, a
And he's
beer
like-
bong for
he's
the
like,
lady.
"You're Darren Chewy."
So she's not thrilled.
No.
She leaves. She tells Darren that he can't hang out with them anymore, and he's got to quit that band.
Oh.
And if he doesn't listen to her, there's no more sex, aka he's not allowed to go down on her or masturbate.
Yeah, she says like don't make me take away your masturbation privileges. Oh.
So they, what are they going to do with their band? Their diamonds in the rough. I'm mad that this guy's not on the shirt. Actually,
The fill-in?
they replace him with like an Indian guy.
And he's like, oh, baby.
She's got the way to be moving me.
Oh, baby! You got the way to be moving me. Oh, Jenny, baby!
And he's in a relationship with an older woman.
Yeah, she's like,
What are we going to be doing later? And she like winks at him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, baby. I would have loved that band. I would go see that band. Like, hey, they do Neil Diamond
oh
songs.
my God, you crushed
And they
that
have like a
impression.
loud Indian guy who doesn't know English very well. I'm like, I'm in. Let's go.
That was amazing.
Oh, they're great, but they're getting Wayne is updating JD on all the horrible things. She made him get like a Brazilian butt lift. He got butt implants.
And then you see like the rubber ass.
But I love JD going like, I thought his ass looked tighter. We learn later why JD might be having these thoughts. But then we learn the worst part. She torched Neil.
She torched Neil.
The woman's a bees. 2, 3, 1. Bop, bop, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes. Incredible.
Yeah, she torches all his Neil albums.
That is fucked.
That's fucked.
That
That's
was
too
bad.
much. That's too much. So the next day,
You're right. The woman's a monster.
I just love the comedic time of Woman's a Monster. 2, 3, 1. Like,
Yeah,
they're
so
still-
good.
So the next day, Darren meets with them, but he's only got a minute because he's got to heat up Judith's wax to wax her.
Oh, fuck. Can you imagine?
The worst. But he tells him that relationship counseling's going really well. It's 2 hours every 3 days, and his relationship counselor is Judith. Like, oh, great. But they let him know that they beg him to dump her, and they have a graph explaining like what's going on. They're like, look, our fun levels have dropped off. I love he goes, girls, never really high, but now it's down to a 2, and then the wanking off is going all the way up.
He's like, all-time low, 2.
This, of course, leads to increased wanking off, and then like JD's is like, I'm chafing.
Yeah, I'm chafing.
But Darren's too whipped.
Yep.
He's too pussy whipped. He's like, no, I just really love her, man. I gotta go. It's nice seeing.
He was literally there for like 4 minutes.
Yeah. No, I think it's exactly a minute because
Really?
he says he only has a minute. And his beeper
It was
goes
so
off.
quick.
Okay, so then they try to buy off Judith.
Right.
Fucking love this scene.
This is a great
So
scene.
they go in. They offer him. They offer her Wayne's house.
Yeah.
Which his grandmother was born there. She's buried in the backyard. And then he has the picture of his family and he's being dropped
Off the side. See, it's the writing, dude. This writing in this movie is
That's
fantastic.
me and my dad. My dad just dropped me on
Me
my
on the
head. Oh, by the way, they only have, was it 2
2
minutes?
minutes and 30
Because
seconds.
she's like, my rate is $200 an hour. They have like
Pull out,
$7.
paper clips and like.
So they offer them the house and he's willing to throw in JD. What does she say in your version about JD? Or he say?
They call him the human power tool.
He doesn't look like much, but the girls call him the human power tool.
It's true.
He doesn't look like much, but he's hung like a horse.
It's true.
Okay, I think in the R-rated cut they say like he's hung like a horse or something.
Okay.
But no, she turns both those down. Like, she's like,
He goes,
I don't want
it's
your
right. It's true.
It's true. I love that she goes like, I don't want your house or your dead
Yeah,
grandmother.
I don't want your shitty old house.
So
or
then
your
they
dead
try to
grandmother.
arm wrestle her. He loses.
She's like saying all like some like
Oh, like 2 times a day?
was
3? And just like
boom.
boom. And I love, this is another great moment where he goes to break her lamp, but it's like a retractable
Yeah, and
lamp.
he just pulls it.
And he looks so confused and he's just like, nah.
So good, so funny. Tries to pull the lamp
And
off.
she's like straight up evil. Like she's just like, he's my puppet.
Yeah.
I'm his puppet master.
Master.
Like she's not redeemable
No,
at all.
No, she knows what she's doing.
She's straight up the bad guy. So then they have a plan. They're going to hire prostitutes.
Yeah.
Wayne gets 50 an hour. JD has to do it for
200.
200. And they're like, all right.
Yeah.
So they take a bunch of pictures with the prostitutes,
Yeah.
having a good time. Your version, they're wearing bras.
Yeah, they are.
R-rated version, tits out.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Which I can't show any of. But
Sorry.
trust me, it's there. Yeah, so they're having a great time partying. They they cut out pictures of Silverman and put him like on Wayne's body. And they're not even photoshopping. It's like photocopying.
They're like gluing and photocopying it.
Which I used to do as a kid. I would do like scanner. And
Yeah.
so yeah, they go to drop it off. I love when they drop it in the mailbox. They're like, don't look back, don't look back.
They're skipping off.
So yeah, they send the pictures and Judith is all sad. And I love when they're like,
look at this.
They're like, oh, he's cheating on you with 2 chicks. But I love that they're just like, I don't know, like dump him? Yeah,
Dump him. Just dump him.
She like rips off his shirt and she's like, Darren doesn't have a tattoo, you idiot.
Yeah. Nice try, idiots.
But then she threatens to kill them. She's like, if I ever see you again, I'll kill you.
Yeah. She's hardcore, man.
So yeah, they are total failures. So then they meet with Darren again, secretly. And he lets them know that Judith proposed to him. And he's taking her last name.
He's like, yes, because you're taking
her last name. At this point, he's like fed up, and he just like, no, he's like, because you're taking her last name. He's like, yeah, it's sexist, isn't it? But I love when JD's just like, congratulations.
Yeah, he's like, oh, congratulations. Elbows him.
But then Sandy returns.
Finally.
Sandy returns. And I love that she struggles to remember Wayne and JD. And JD's like,
the best.
Remember I had the paint on suit and it ran? She's like, no.
Everybody can see my dong.
And she's like, doesn't ring a bell. He's like, I remember when I was lighting farts
with the Bunsen burner.
And I love this movie. He's like, I still can't grow hair on my nut. But it cuts to Steve Zahn and Jason Biggs.
Just you like, just hear, sucks.
But like, they're just staring before they go back to acknowledge. It's like, Wayne never stops staring at him. But Jason Biggs is like, hi.
So funny.
Like they can't imagine what just happened. They're like,
so
what was
funny.
That? So yeah, they're like, wow, Sandy's back in your life. You're one and only. He's like, no, now Judith is my one and only.
And of course, one and only one?
And only? Such a well-written movie.
It really
I don't know
is.
why people didn't like it when it came out.
People didn't like this when it came out?
No, it was. I think it did okay, but like it got negative reviews.
Dude, this is like hardcore cult classic.
Yeah,
like for sure.
Oh, I was reading up some reviews. There were people complaining. Apparently, there were like a string of comedies about saving dudes from overbearing women.
Oh,
and they were writing about it. If there's a problem, like there should be 10 of those movies a year. If I had anything to say about it, they should never stop making those movies. Saving Silverman should have 5 remakes by now.
Yeah.
There's always new ways women can be awful to men. We got to keep remaking this movie.
Remaking it.
So we're a lot of that. And just people just didn't like Adam Sandler. I'm not even the biggest fan of those Adam Sandler style
like
comedies.
movies,
This falls in, there's some that I like. This falls into that camp. But yeah, it didn't do super well review-wise. Which is funny because I think it's hilarious.
I think it's great.
It's a great movie. So yeah, Wayne and JD, they crash the engagement party. I love that they have the Vespa helmet. He left his Vespa helmet, which is probably just on his Vespa.
Yeah.
But no, they were not invited to the engagement party. And they meet, what was it, Clayton and, was it Derek or?
Yeah. And he goes, Clayton.
Clayton. What kind of loser goes by the name Clayton? So yeah, they get into a fight with his new friends because she lies to them. By the way, also tits out again. But she's just like, oh yeah, those are his new friends. But in reality, he like just met them.
Yeah.
Because he has none of his friends at the engagement party.
Yeah.
It's just all her friends and coworkers. So they get into like a big fight. And they like they're not gonna stop until they get Darren back, and that's when we get the come on now, yeah,
die replacement friends.
Come on now, yeah.
So they do the come on now, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling you before this, I was reading Neil Diamond didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, like he didn't know the reference.
Yeah, he's like he didn't understand, so they had to like get like one of his live albums or whatever and play it because it's supposed to be like come on now, yeah. But the way he says it sounds like that, so they played it for him. He had no idea he had been saying it like that. He's like, "What are you guys
talking about?" Yeah,
come on now, yeah. So yeah, they flee the party, and I love that they're like pissed. JD's like, "Man, she's the worst, yeah, but with really great tits." She's like the emperor, yeah, but with really great tits. And they're like, Sandy, oh yeah, Sandy, she's like Mother Teresa, yeah, but with really great tits. So I love how casual Wayne is. He's like, all right, well, that settles it. They're like, yeah. We're like, come on, yeah, we're gonna kidnap Judith and set Darren up with Sandy. And
JD's like, what?
I love JD does the come on out, yeah. And he goes, wait, what? So it's nighttime. They're gonna go kidnap Judith.
Yep.
They attempt to cut the power. They cut the power to an entire building.
Yeah. He's up on the telephone poles, just like.
And I love that he's in the military thing,
Yeah.
and Jack Black just has
Pantyhose.
stockings on, and you see
Yeah.
the crotch on his head. So yeah, they're sneaking in the house. He tries to give him signals, but he only knows the Air Force signals.
Yeah.
I only know the Air Force. Oh, and then one of my favorite bits, like,
Yeah. All right, I won't make the again. That was the last one.
that was the last one. So you don't have to make the sound. It already does that. So they're sneaking around, and I love JD is just so hungry.
Yeah.
And I love he's like, I see something in the back of the refrigerator.
The back of the closet. Nope.
But he
All clear here, buddy.
But he finds Judith. He goes to like hit her with the trank dart, but
Yeah.
then she like kicks it, so he tranks
Tranks
himself,
himself.
and his like leg is falling asleep.
Yeah.
She's like kicking their ass. She fights JD.
Yeah.
He's like JD like chickens out.
He's getting like swirlies.
She's like she's like drowning him in the toilet, and the only way they stop her is like Wayne, who's limping, has the taser and tases her. So they kidnap her. And then I love that they leave the note pretending to be Judith. And it's like, Darren, I don't want to be with you anymore. I never want to see you or your fake butt ever again.
So funny.
So I love when they have her kidnapped. They have to like keep themselves disguised. So they have the mascot. They put JD in the mascot outfit to give her food and stuff. So then Wayne meets with Darren, and he pitches the idea of dating Sandy.
Yeah.
Or no, Wayne meets with Sandy and pitches Darren to her.
Right.
But then she reveals she's going to become a nun in a week. And we learned that she was in love with a trapeze artist,
What was
Luigi.
his name? Luigi Panini.
Luigi Panini.
Good God.
Classic Italian name.
So classic. Man.
Luigi Panini. But he was very vain. There were some talent scouts. Because he talent scout trapeze artists, I guess. I mean, I'm sure that's
I'm sure we trapeze with no net as well.
yeah. But he decided to grease up his hair. Now, I think that's a little stereotypical.
Oh, yeah. The guy's name's Luigi Panini.
And
And
he's
loves
just greasing up his hair. He greased it up too much. And while he was doing the trapeze, he let go of her and he died in front of everyone. Luigi!
Like I said, no net.
Yes. He was like a Robin's family in Batman Forever.
That's
they just
right.
went no net. But yeah, ever since then, she decided to dedicate her life to the Lord.
Sure.
So now Wayne is like, oh, you got to consider it at least.
He's like, wait, you haven't taken your final vows yet, though, right?
Yeah. And then we see Darren is like super upset with JD. And I love this, like, maybe she did this.
Yeah.
No. Maybe she did that. No. And he goes, maybe she got kidnapped.
What?
I love Darren's like, you think? And he goes, no.
No.
Why would that happen in a world?
Is this when he's like lighting the candles to show?
No, that was later. That was later. That's
Okay,
later.
okay.
That's later. This is when they're at the bar. Real quick, did your part have the JD assuming that Judith was a herm?
Yeah, hermaphrodite. Little dick, little puss.
No.
He goes, maybe she's a herm.
I don't think I had that.
Okay, and then Darren's like, what? He's like, hermaphrodite, little P, little V.
I don't think I had that.
That was in the... That one felt weird while I was watching it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I think that's extended cut.
Okay.
I think that's extended cut. Darren won't move on as long as Judith's alive. He's like, as long as she's living, I'll never love again.
Right.
So they get the genius plan of digging up a corpse of a dead chick who's apparently really stacked.
Whoa, this dead chick's really stacked.
They put her in Judith's car. I like JD's jacket gets stuck
My favorite
in the car.
jacket.
Just leave it. Ah!
Lose it.
While a heavy metal version of Hello Again, Hello is playing.
Hello.
Yeah, they send the car off the cliff with the corpse, blow up. I thought the jacket was going to come into play
So
or
did
something.
I, but it didn't.
It was just something funny.
Yeah.
It was an excuse to see Jack Black's butt as he was like
Yeah.
holding on to the car. So yeah, they goes off the cliff, and I love Darren is watching the news, and like, in other news, Judith Festbendler or whatever died in a car crash. And, you know, he does the, but I love, like, immediately after, he's like, and in unrelated news, a corpse of a woman was dug up.
Yeah.
3 Cuban nationals have been arrested. So it's hilarious. So now he thinks she's dead. Then we get Judith trying to get inside JD's head to get out of it. She's like, "Oh, you're really smart. Have you been to any university?" He's like, "Yeah, Subway University." And I look at
like,
you know my
SU?
friend JD McNugent. She's like,
No, never heard of such a person.
And she totally gets. She's like, "All right, goodbye, JD." He's like, "Take it easy, Judith." God damn it! So now their cover's blown. And they don't know what to do with her.
She knows who we are.
Yep. So they go to visit their old coach in jail because he's there for killing that referee. And I love he goes, "I got a parole thing, but it doesn't look good. Victim's whiny family." And by the way, they testified on his behalf, right? Even though he's 100% guilty. And they're like, I don't know if they're like victims' whiny family. And JD's like, "What is their deal?" It's like, she killed the guy. So yeah, I love that they're trying. He's like, "All right, so we kind of kidnapped the girl," and he won't even let them finish. He goes,
Just
kill her. Like, "No, you gotta let us finish." So she found out, "Oh, kill her." No, and then we can't do this. He's like, "Oh, that's it? That's easy. Kill her." But I love that
You're Wheaton Warriors. You can do anything you put your mind
Wheaton
to.
Warriors. But I love that he's like super positive with them.
Yeah.
But I love that he goes, "What is it?" You're like, "We can't kill someone." He's like, "What is it I always told you? If you can dream it, you can do it." It's a Walt Disney quote. So he's like, "Yeah, go stuff that bitch."
Yeah, so good.
So they go to try and kill her. This moment had me crying. I haven't watched this in a long time. I already knew the joke, but it had me crying. But I love that they're both holding the gun.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to kill her. I'm like, "You guys aren't going to kill me." And they're like, "Yeah, I killed a guy." And he's like, "Well, who?" And he says the guy's name. And I love JD's just like, "Oh, you didn't kill him. He drowned."
He died in a car wreck.
She doesn't know that.
He's like, "All right."
But then she's like, and then JD's like, "Yeah, well, one time I hit a squirrel."
And he didn't die right then, but he was limping and stuff. I'm pretty sure he died right after that. Look.
Dude, I cried last
So
night.
funny.
I already knew the joke. I've heard it a million times, but it's been so long.
I'm pretty sure he died right after
Pretty
that.
sure he died right after that. The way he says it with confidence.
It's the delivery of some of his lines that are so funny.
And it's a good contrast to the Wayne character who was really struggling with his lie.
Yeah.
And JD just says it with 100% I'm pretty sure he died right after that.
Also, side note, we didn't touch on this initially. As a kid, I always was so impressed by the outdoor porta potty in the garage. And now, like,
I'm smart. I suggested that.
Yeah. An outhouse, clever. But like, I'm now thinking about it, I'm like, I would never want that.
It's a terrible idea. An indoor outhouse.
Yeah.
That's reminded me. That's become my favorite joke in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
When she's going through the house, she goes to the bathroom. She's like, "Oh, look, an indoor outhouse." I don't know. I rewatched it before the new movie came out, and for whatever reason, that particular joke just got me.
That's good.
So hard.
That's good.
I love a really good comedy is one that you can watch growing up and it'll make you laugh at different times as you get older.
For sure, dude.
Because when I was a kid, I'm like, that didn't make me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm into the Beetlejuice stuff. And as I'm older, I'm like, I've seen some shitty bathrooms. I actually relate to that now.
I love that. Yeah.
So yeah,
true.
they can't kill her.
Yeah.
They're like, "God damn it, I can't."
Slam it.
So yeah, then Wayne is trying to get Darren out of the house to go meet Sandy. And this is where he's like, "Show me the meaning of being lonely."
Oh yeah, he's lighting the candle.
And then we get the very famous scene. And I love that they leave it in. You see Jason Biggs just start to crack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's him going like, "Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on." For like a solid minute. And like you see Jason Biggs
He's
like
holding it
can't
back.
hold it in. He's like,
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, all right, come on.
and then it cuts and him going like, "Come on, yeah."
So funny.
So Sandy meets with Darren
Yeah.
for lunch. She's like, "How you been?" He's like, "Oh, great. My fiance died."
But she shows up in the like
In the nun thing. So
Yeah.
when she's relieved, he's like, "I think he was trying to make this a date, but now I'm relieved."
Yeah.
So yeah, he like starts breaking down. He just starts crying.
Yeah.
And she sings Neil Diamond to him. Wait, no, did she sing it here? Yeah, she sings it here.
Sparks
Yeah.
start to fly, dude.
Yeah.
You
and
can
he's
see
like,
it.
what? She's like, yeah, he's
like,
America's greatest singer-songwriter. So they're starting to
When
fall
I
for
hear
each
you
other.
say
When I hear you say hello.
hello.
Meanwhile, Judith begins her therapy with JD. It's pretty funny. And when we cut back to Sandy, he was just like, remember, you could throw me over your head. She's like, I still can. She throws him
Launches
over the pier. She dives in and saves him, and she's about to make out with him, and he starts throwing up. She's like, yeah, let it out. And then Judith starts to gaslight JD into thinking he's gay. And I love, like, are you into any men? He's like, what kind of man?
Like a tall man?
Like a tall man? Tall man freak me out. Just any man.
Yeah.
Do celebrities count? So then, this scene, is there a scene in your version where Darren and Sandy go to the laundromat?
Yes.
There is?
I believe so.
Huh.
I mean, and like they're folding laundry together, right?
Okay, is there a scene where she just gets dressed in the middle of the laundromat and she's like covering up her tits and you see her butt?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's in the extended cut.
Okay.
Which is weird. I'm like, because she's like, can you turn around? I'm like, but you're in the middle of the laundromat.
Wait,
You're getting changed in the middle of the laundromat.
You see, I think I've seen both versions. But
Yeah.
The version I watched last night, I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
could be
So I
wrong,
think this
but-
is all at it. But yeah, they talk about like what if they
Right.
were. Yeah, I think he asked her, like, if I would have asked you out in high school, would you have said yes?
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks to know.
Yeah, talk about freaking.
Yeah.
Could have gone my whole life not knowing that.
Yeah. So it cuts back and we find out that JD is gay. He's like crying. And I feel bad because this is a big moment for him. And he's like just breaking down. And then she takes advantage of the situation, just hits him with a lamp.
Dude, wrecks him too.
He's like, bang. You're the only one who ever got me. So she gets out of the chains. And I love when she goes upstairs, Wayne is opening the door. He's like, ah! So yeah, she goes upstairs and she tricks both of them and kicks both of them out the window.
Yeah.
And this part was used in all the trailers. Judith escaped. Durr. So they have to go take off after her. I love when she's running, Darren spots her and then crashes.
Yeah, eats shit on the moped.
Like, Judith? They track her with night vision goggles all throughout the town. Judith knocks on the door of a horny guy who's
horny Chinese man?
Yeah, who's masturbating.
Yeah.
He's masturbating in my cut. I don't know if he does it in your cut.
No, he's just like, oh.
Yeah. So he comes down. He thinks he's getting lucky. He trips and dies.
Eats shit down the stairs.
Judith steals the truck. And she's driving away. And I love when JD like gets on the door. He's like, you better turn this around. And she electrocutes his balls.
Yeah.
Kicks him out. She makes it all the way to the police station where Wayne is waiting for her and hits her with the trank gun. And I love this part.
I love how he reveals that he was like on a
He was
bike.
on a bike.
Yeah.
But I love he puts a blanket over her. And the cops are wondering what it is. He's like, yeah, I just caught one of those killer goats that escaped from the zoo. And world's best police officers are like, good job.
Good job, yeah.
They don't even bother to check.
All right. It's so funny.
So back at the house, Wayne can't believe that JD is gay.
You're not gay.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I do this. My obsession with Bette Midler. This. He's like, and the fact that I like
love
sucking. In your version, it gets cut off. In this version, he goes,
say-
dick.
yeah.
He's like, what?
And the fact that I like sucking.
What? You've done that?
And the fact that I like sucking dick.
What? You've done that?
He's like, well, not when
You've
anyone
done
else.
that? Remember when I put that book? Remember when I put that book on yoga?
Yeah, apparently he's been sucking his own dick with yoga. And Wayne like can't stand it. He's like, you're not gay. She got in your head, boy. And I love when he goes, you want to be gay with me? He's like, no.
He does that little like skip when he walks away.
So then we see nuns lifting and boxing. She mentions that the convent has like a really good gym.
Wait, what's the song that's playing? I can't.
Going downtown, baby. Bum, 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 bum. That was like
Some
what was
Nelly.
It? Yeah, it was a Nelly song. So they're boxing, and I love Mother Superior's this elderly lady. She's just like bench pressing.
Yeah. like popping like straight. What was it, like 90 on each side?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
But she's talking about how she's like concerned with her faith. Does she really want to do this? She's not sure. And I love Mother Spears being supportive of her. And then she's like, let's go do some power squats.
Yeah, some power squats.
So then Judith tries to imply that Wayne is gay. He's not falling for this one. And then Darren and Sandy have their date, but he keeps bringing up Judith.
What do we do with that, man?
It's a mistake we all make. I caught myself doing that in my youth. I don't do it anymore.
That's like
some women I know do it.
Biggest red flag, man. You can't be doing that.
Yeah. That's one of those where like, it's a little too early. Maybe hold off on dating for now.
Yeah,
if you're doing
yeah.
that.
If you're talking about how she liked the duck, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, because first he's like, I swear I saw Judith. She's like, oh my God.
You're not over
And like, no, it's fine. No, we can get the duck. That was always Judith's favorite.
Oh.
So he knows he's in trouble. She wants to bail out on the date. And he's like, no, I'll fix this. He calls Wayne, who's trying to suck his own dick. Is he bare ass in the PG-13?
Yeah, it's side profile, fully naked.
In the trailer, and I think the TV version, they colored on shorts onto him.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, he calls Wayne for help, who's trying to suck his own dick.
Yeah.
And he puts these shocks on his nipples.
Yeah, very reminiscent of Demon Night in the bedroom.
Yes. He suggests he could put it on his balls. He's like, nipples work.
Nipples
are
are
great.
fine. Nipples are great.
But he tells him every time you say Judith, I'm gonna shock you. So it works. As soon as he mentions her, gets a shock, and he goes, I love you, Judith. She's like, what?
He's like, no, let's go dance.
I meant, let's dance.
Yeah.
But she's into it. She's willing to not take her final vows.
Yeah, he's like fully in. He's like, I'm down for marriage, kids, like whatever.
Yeah,
I'm in.
yeah. So they go to dance. Meanwhile, because Wayne was rude to someone, the bouncer comes out and starts beating him up, but like punching the electroshock. So Darren's dancing and he's like, nipples are shocking. Like, wow, he's a really great dancer.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden his nips like catch on fire.
Explode and they light the bar on fire.
Yeah, because he's putting out the fires with the drink and then it shocks and lights the whole bar on fire. So funny.
So they're out there. The firefighters are already there.
Yeah.
They're out there and he's like, sorry, I have these on my nipples because I was mentioned to Judith. She's like, I'm done. So she leaves.
Out.
She drives away. And he's like, Sandy, wait. And I love this. It just crosses up to later that night. And he shows up at the cottage. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, I ran from the club. She's like, that's 30 miles.
He's like, I know.
I wanted to tell you I'm sorry. And he's trying to apologize to her. And I love that she already forgives him.
Yeah.
He's like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm training to become a nun.
My thing.
Forgiveness is kind of our thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she agrees to be with him.
Yeah.
He's finally won her over. I guess running for 30 miles will really win a girl over.
It really will.
So then Wayne talks to Judith again. He gives her a Big Montana.
All she wants is a Big Montana
she
from
wants is a
Arby's
Big
and curly
Montana.
fries.
I've never had a Big Montana before.
They were big in the 90s.
No, are they not around?
I don't know if it's still a thing. I haven't had
that
Arby's.
Arby's near. Maybe I'll go. That's the Arby's with the old sign.
should
They
have
haven't
had Big
updated.
Montanas for
We
this.
should have had Big Montanas. Fuck. So yeah, he asked her why she went for Darren.
Mm-hmm.
We get her backstory before, because he's like, I feel like you need like the strong, like assertive type.
Right.
Darren doesn't fit that. And she's like, well, before him, I was engaged to a kickboxer.
Yeah, like a cage fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a blood sport kickboxer.
That's what it
And I
was.
love that she was at one of his blood sports
Yeah.
with the flags,
Yeah.
with the American flags, but he died.
Like they checked the pulse and the guy's like,
Dead! So like her boyfriend died. And I think she's wearing the same outfit that she meets Darren in. So I think it's like he died that night and then she met Darren.
no way.
I think.
Oh, also, if I like looking up sometimes like goofs and stuff in the movies. I saw the one where it was like, oh yeah, the Big Montana, the buns keep switching.
Oh, really?
It's like one's a sesame seed and then one's a Kaiser, and it keeps switching back and forth. I thought that was hilarious.
She flirts with Wayne. She gets the sauce on her boobs, and he's like
Once
all
again,
in on.
cleave out.
She cleaves out. I love that she's wearing like the cowboy boots. She's wearing like his clothes. So he like starts making out with her and everything, and then he's just like, I can't. And she's like, just give me one hand. Just one hand and I'll do it. So yeah, someone starts ringing the bell. JD's not answering. So he goes up, and I love that JD's eating and reading a PlayStation game manual.
Yeah, he's reading like NFL '98 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just like, why didn't you answer the door? He's like, I'm eating.
He's like, I don't answer the door when I'm
I
eating.
don't answer the door when I'm eating. He's like, since
when?
when? Since long ago. I didn't know that. He's like, you didn't know a lot of things. You didn't know I was gay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I should know? I have 3 balls.
Shut up.
So, we find out the coach is out of jail.
Yeah.
He found a judge that was a sports fan, and he's planning to crash with the guys. And I love that they're like, he's like, I want to use the toilet. He's like, you can't. We're saving water. And he's like, good idea.
He's like, good thinking.
He's like, wait, what do you do? He's like, we use the lawn. And I love, he's like, you guys have any TP? No. And he's like, I'll find something. He just pulls out the mailbox.
I love the scene where he just drops trowel.
Again, he's the most supportive guy in the world.
It's amazing.
But yeah, so he asked what they did with her, and he goes, "Oh, we ate her alive." And he's like, "That's the perfect crime. No evidence." But then he puts the TV on, and he realizes they lied. She's still alive, and she's breaking out of the chain.
Oh, she's getting away.
He's like, "Go chop her head off or something." And he's like, "I'll do it." So yeah, she goes down there. He tells her that he's there to kill her.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Mind if I defend myself?" He's like, "Of course. I love a fair fight." Yeah. Beats the shit out of him. And then Evil Woman starts playing.
Yes.
Which was the alternate title for this movie.
Oh.
I don't know. Either it was the original title or in some other countries it's known as Evil Woman, which I think is a great title.
Tony knows that.
Saving Silverman is a good catchy title, but Evil Woman is a little bit more fitting for this. So she takes off, kicking all their asses.
Yeah.
I love JD has a towel over his head, and she leaves, but then comes back in. He thinks it's Wayne. He's like, dude, ah! So while this is happening, Sandy is moving her stuff into Darren's house.
Yep.
And she takes her top off, they're making out, and then Judith arrives.
Oh, God. This always actually killed me when I would watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Because the whole time it's happening, she's like covering herself up.
So
yeah, she's able to get her claws back into Darren. She's like, how could you? I was just wondering if you still loved me.
She's so full of shit.
I know. So yeah, he tells Sandy, like,
Run back to the nunnery.
Yeah, go back to the nunnery. But I like that he's just like, I promised Judith.
I did pledge.
Yeah, I did pledge my love. I'm like,
on.
Darren, come on. So yeah, it's like sad. You feel sad for Sandy.
I do.
It's like, dude, she just stopped the nunnery for you. I do love, like, with this tramp. She's like, I'm not a tramp. Up until yesterday, I was trained to become a nun. So Wayne and JD show up.
Oh no.
And Darren beats the shit out of them and drops them both onto Sandy's car.
And she's like screaming.
I do love it.
Great shot.
He beats the shit out of Wayne. He's like, JD, we did it because we loved you. He's like, oh, you loved me. And he goes to hug him and just tosses him
out.
So the cops come. They're in jail.
Yep.
They're tossed out in jail. Okay. He shows up in jail, Darren, to let them know that the wedding is still on.
Yep.
And I love the look in my eye and tell me that you love Judith. He's like, I love Judith. Look into both her eyes at the same time.
He's like, I'm out of here.
So then they call the coach and they try to, he's like, I'd do anything for you boys. We need $10,000. Hell no. What, in your version, what do they say to him to get him to save them?
So I just remember the coach saying, they're making you wear dresses.
They're making us their girlfriends.
What? They're making you wear dresses in there.
Okay.
My God, that's terrible.
Yes. R-rated version. They go, come on, coach.
They're sodomizing us in here.
What? They're cornholing you?
They're sodomizing us. And he goes, they're cornholing you.
See, I didn't have that.
Because I remember they're making you wear dresses. And when I was watching the R-rated version, I'm like, I don't remember cornhole or sodomy being mentioned in the other version. But yeah, then the coach breaks him out of jail. He uses Wayne's truck and backs into it.
Kind of sounds like my truck.
Kind of sounds like my truck backing up. Yeah.
Awesome.
I still love that. I'd do anything for you boys. Hell no.
No way.
So they break him out. They stop by Sandy as she was taking her final vows, and they convince her not to do it. The nuns are sad. They're like, lost another one. Son of a bitch.
Lost another one.
But what is she gonna wear? They're like, don't worry, we got you JD's sister's clothes. She's a stripper and a hooker. And then they have one more stop they have to do. they go to the stadium and
Yup.
they kidnap Neil Diamond.
Oh my gosh, Neil Diamond!
I love where he's just like, you're the ones who have been doing this, sending me naked pictures. And Wade's like, we didn't do that. And he goes, JD, he's like, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So they're all explaining the situation. He's like, okay, hold on. So Darren married Judith.
Yeah.
And he goes, look, all these years I've always written about the healing
Yeah.
power of love, but I've never had a chance to prove it. By the way, they keep quoting lines for this when they're just like, come on, Neil, turn on your heart light.
Yeah. And he's like, love on the rocks. Ain't no big surprise.
Hey, Love on the Rocks. No big surprise.
Yeah.
And they're like, where's the wedding? It's at the corner of something in America.
We're coming
To America. But I love that the cops are on their case. The coach, one little jailbreak.
He's like, Caprice, 4 cars back.
So
It's like clearly not following them.
So he gets an Uzi and he's like, I'll slow them down, boys. And I love before he jumps out, he's like, you get this lady to the wedding. And he goes, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Diamond.
And then he just fucking slides across with the Uzi going
And he gets hit by like several cars.
and the Uzi's just going off circle. Dude, so funny.
I just love the pleasure to meet you, Mr. Diamond. Hey, we're coming to America. So the wedding is happening. They're about to take their vows, do their vows, and then Neil interrupts
Yes.
with hello again, hello, and he's like, Neil? Which is funny. This is like,
She's like, great, Neil.
I just reviewed, speaking of movies where guys are trying to save dudes from overbearing girlfriends, I just reviewed over on Kaylee's channel Night at the Roxbury, which came out a few years before, where what's-his-face saves Will Ferrell from his overbearing girlfriend with a song. Well, that one was Hadaway's What Is Love. You can do it. Okay. Kaylee can't do it.
Really?
She can't do it.
Gotta practice.
I went back and watched some old skits. None of the guest hosts could actually get it right.
Really?
Even Jim Carrey, he didn't do it. Jim Carrey went like
he
this.
went like this.
Yeah, so they interrupt. They're playing the song, and then Sandy interrupts singing the song.
In the hooker outfit.
But then he finally tells Judith, he's like, I can't. He goes, I love Neil. And he goes, and Sandy. He does Neil first. And then Sandy. So he's gonna get his happy ending. Which, by the way, Neil Diamond did write a song for this. I Believe in Happy Endings. It plays during the credits.
Okay.
He wrote that for this. He runs over to Sandy and kisses her passionately, and then Judith wants to know where's her happy ending.
And then who shows up?
Wayne singing the song. And I love this moment where she's running to him. You think she's going to jump in his arms, and then she just picks up the chair and busts. He's like, do you think just because I lost Darren, I don't come with a loser like you? And then they beat the shit out of each other.
The tooth.
Yeah.
The tooth
Both of them get their teeth knocked out. And then that's when they realize that they love each other.
With an aggressive makeout sesh.
I'm the assertive badass you've always wanted.
You're the hardcore bitch I've always dreamed about.
And I love that she hesitates because she doesn't want to give in. But yeah, what about JD and Coach's happy ending? Well, wouldn't you know it? They both happen to be gay.
Me too.
Really? And then they all get married. They all get
now
married.
I pronounce you man and man.
You make us the man. They all get married at the same time at the Neil Diamond concert.
And yeah. And then the reveal that they're all on stage.
But I love the men are playing instruments. The women are doing backup vocals, but Arlie Irby is with them doing backup vocals.
It's the little things, man.
Sing it. Sing it out. And they all rock out to Holly Holy.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's great. And everyone's in the crowd, by the way.
Yeah.
The priest, the nun, the circus family, they're all hanging out.
Amazing.
I'm sure if the movie had more time, the Asian guy who fell down the stairs would have been there. The raccoon would have been They should have cut to the raccoon party with them.
Oh, my God. Dude, what a great ending scene.
It's just such a fun movie. It's
so
just
fun.
such a great time. Look, is it the best thing ever? No.
Are you laughing, though, from beginning to
You're
end?
laughing beginning to end.
Front
You have
to
to have a
back.
real stick up your ass to not like this movie and
Front
not
to
find
back.
it funny.
Front to back. So
And I'm sure
funny.
there's people out there like, that didn't age well. Like, shut up. It's funny.
It's really funny.
It's really funny. And I will cherish this shirt until
There
the
he goes.
day I die.
Yes.
This beautiful saving
And we got
Silverman
some
shirt.
diamonds in the rough. These will be available for all the Tony heads and the
Ooh.
Hack Movies crews.
And what's
everybody.
that? So tapesfromthecrypt.com, and what's that promo code?
Yeah, so tapesfromthecrypt.net.
.net.
Then, well, I'm having leftovers like during February, so when this comes out. So yeah, you'll be able to get leftover Saving Silverman stuff this month.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's a great movie to revisit.
Yes.
Watch it on Valentine's
Watch
Day.
it. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's a great time. This comes out February. This comes out on Valentine's Day
There
or
we
the
go.
day before or after. I believe we have an event coming up in the Chamonix Creek, right?
Yeah, we're doing so it's Lunar New Year, Year of the Snake, so we're doing a mystery double feature that is snake themed.
Ooh.
So me and you will be at Chamonix Creek along with Movie John Magazine, Girls Like Horrors hosting, the Dumpster Boys will be there with us.
Nice.
It'll be a great time. It's going to be a great
And it's a mystery what the movie is, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, 2 snake themed double features. I would say 1 well-known, 1 not. So you'll get a balance.
King Cobra?
I love King Cobra. That's got oh my god, the from Karate Kid, right?
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi's,
Mr. Miyagi's in it.
And I believe Pedro from
Napoleon Dynamite.
Dynamite. You know what? That'd be a good To Be Tuesday one.
I love King Cobra.
Last year, me and Jess did a commentary track for Noah's Shark. It's on Patreon. That was a mistake.
Oh god.
We needed like a short one. We could do a commentary track because we were going to shoot the Rocky episode and Trisha was running late.
Yeah.
So like, oh, here's a commentary track we can do to get out of the way. Big mistake. But it auto-played King Cobra afterwards, and I remember watching that movie a lot as a kid.
King Cobra was good.
King Cobra was good. I'm trying to think of other bad snake movies.
Yeah. Like I said, you'll get one like classic, and then you'll get one that's a little bit more of a deep cut.
Okay.
So it'll be
Okay.
fun.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
you guys should come out to that one though if you're in the area.
Silent Predators.
I'm not going to say much more. Not going to say much more.
I highly doubt it's either of those.
I'll just say it flat out, say for the audience, no.
Oh man, Anaconda 3?
Maybe. Maybe. There is a secret feature.
Speaking of Jack Black and Anaconda, so me and Johanna want to do what is the worst Lake Placid sequel and what is the worst Anaconda movie? Because we did the first of each.
Okay.
But we had to delay Anaconda because I got to figure out a way to get the Chinese remake that came out a few years ago.
You told me about that.
Yes, and they announced that on Christmas, Paul Rudd and Jack Black are putting out an Anaconda remake.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I mean, you already had J-Lo and Ice Cube. What more do you really want?
I mean, only one of those sequels went theatrical. I think we're
Yeah.
good. I think we're good. And then eventually, after we do those, we want to do Lake Placid versus Anaconda.
I haven't seen that.
Which again, the crocodile was not called Lake Placid. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
But yeah, so check us out there in the Chamonix Creek Brewery. I got to figure out what con I'm going to next. I wanted to go to GalaxyCon, but I forgot to book a table. Maybe I will have in this time that this airs. Maybe I will have booked it. Who knows? But yeah, check that out. Check out his site.
Yeah, don't forget
follow
to
both of us.
use your code too.
Use the code.
Hack the Tony.
And yeah, that's it from us. Have a happy Valentine's Day. I'm sure next year I'll have a lady. I'm sure.
Sour cream and onions.
You know, the first Valentine's Day one I did with Johanna, and then she was engaged the next year. The next one, I did it with Crystal and Casey, and then they got boyfriends the next year. This
Whoa.
might be your year, Tim. This might be your year.
Thanks, everybody.
Next year, you come back, you're like, yeah, Tony, that didn't work. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. Because it only works with women on the show.
Oh, boy.
All right,
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.